What's going on, everyone? Welcome into an emergency podcast, emergency episode of the Dairyland Drive. Collin, Mike, Riley, some breaking news that just shook the NFL world. I'm still in shock. We're going to get initial reactions, but Micah Parsons, arguably the best player in the NFL, or one of the best players in the NFL, has officially been traded to the Green Bay Packers. 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark. He's going to make a lot of money. Was it 4 years, $188 million? So we're just going to stop it there. Mike, initial reaction when you saw this news. Just tell me what was going through your head.
I couldn't believe it. To me, it kind of feels like when you're turning 16 and you ask your parents for a car, and I've been wanting Trey Hendrickson all off season, right? Give me that night, give me a decent used car that'll last me 2-3 years, and then your birthday rolls around and they give you a souped up brand new truck. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, what a feeling. I couldn't believe it when I got that text from you today after work. Wow. And then also, I thought it would be a little bit more what we would have to give up for him. 2 firsts and Kenny, wow.
Big win, I think. Yeah.
Getting Kenny off the books a year early, yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Riley.
Yeah. I was mid practice giving my defensive game plan, giving a speech about discipline and toughness. First game's tomorrow, blah blah blah. My fucking Apple Watch is just buzzing. I get done giving it a look, figure it out, and I'm like, holy shit! Just yelled middle of practice. Everybody looks at me. There's one Cowboys fan on the team. I told him to F off in a night. You it. And yeah, that was, so I haven't even really, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm shocked. The Packers don't do this. I mean, we're going to be wanting, I'm not going to say we're going to be wanting more, but we're going to be expecting a move like this. And this is probably like a once in a lifetime for us. Cause I mean, maybe they do one every 15 years, it seems like. So yeah, like I said early in the off season, Kenny Clark was on his last year anyways. His production was down. We were hoping for a bounce back year. Doesn't matter now. The 2 late first round picks, what we're giving up. I mean, it should be 28 or above, right? Unless Jordan Love gets hurt, fingers crossed, knock on wood, everybody stays healthy. It's not like we're losing basically early seconds. It doesn't matter. So yeah, big deal. I like the contract. It's high now, but it's only going to keep going up. So the fact that we have him for this long, he's going to be cheap here. Within the next 2 years, he'll be considered cheap for what we have him for. And yeah, I don't know. He's a fucking game wrecker. It's a game changer, and I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's fucking Super Bowl or bust now. And it's like, what's next? I mean, I texted you guys. I'm like, holy shit, trying to figure it out. I'm like, what are these DNs that we have on the roster now going to be gone? Are we going to go after another, a veteran defensive tackle? What's next? Because it's go time. It's win it all now time.
Yeah, for the 3rd straight season, the Packers have the youngest roster in football. So a move like this is like a legacy move, I think, for Goody. It seems like kind of every GM has kind of had this legacy move that they've been kind of tied to and known for. Before it was probably the whole Jordan Love fiasco and trading up, but this potentially, I think, has to kind of go next level and kind of maybe finish it and get him to the Super Bowl. Just kind of looking at what the Packers gave up, because I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. That was when the compensation came out. I think that was what Micah Parsons and his side expected the whole time, be the highest paid non-quarterback player in the NFL. But like Riley mentioned, 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, that's got to be a huge win. I mean, I'm absolutely shocked that Kenny Clark was the player I think involved in. Maybe not absolutely shocked, but I thought some other players maybe the Cowboys would ask for. But when just looking about what the Packers are giving up a little bit more with those 2 firsts that'll hopefully be at the end of the first round and a Kenny Clark, and being able to still keep a Rashawn Gary and I know Lucas Van Ness has had his ups and downs, but those were a couple guys that we talked about in our episodes that maybe could, potentially go over there. Rasheed Walker, Quay Walker, someone like that. You got to feel pretty good about what the Packers gave up to get a player of that caliber in his prime. Like, let's not forget this. He's in his prime, 26 years old. He's going to have 3-4 really good years left. Maybe one of the best players in football.
Yeah. Initially I was shocked, but just sitting here thinking about it, I mean, Riley did mention in a couple years that that contract, that number is going to be a a a steal, right? Or reasonable. But I mean, 47 mil a year, that's a significant jump from the next highest guy. So, I mean, Brian Gutekunst, Russ Ball, Ed Policy, they're probably like, in their minds, it's like, we're giving him a significantly higher number. This is what we're going to give up. You mean, Gutekunst has talked about he has to have a walk away point, and apparently, this was enough.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know what to say. I'm still at a loss of words. It's just the Packers have to be considered probably besides like maybe the Giants, and the Giants aren't really capable of doing it. Like if they get the lead, like the Packers are insane. Like the stuff they can do now, the fronts they can put out. Yeah, so if they can start the ball, LaFleur is on his game plan mode, they can get a score or two. They're up 10 points, whatever. It's going to be hard for teams to come back because the amount of pass rushers they can put out there mixed with Quay Walker and Edge Cooper, like the speed, like they can put him everywhere. It's Devontae Wyatt on the inside. They are insane. So, yeah, and then the contract itself, like I said, yeah, it's going to be a steal in a couple of years, and I don't know how they're going to make it work. I'm assuming, and I can't pick the I saw the guaranteed money. It's super high, obviously the most guaranteed ever, so they can work the books somehow that way to keep it. But yeah, it's insane the game planning and all the stuff. I'm trying to think in my head, and Collin brought up Van Ness, and I'm just like in my head, I swear to God, if Van Ness takes snaps away from Micah Parsons, I'm going to freak out. So that's the first. I'm just I have so much going in my brain right now.
Yeah, I mean, does this kind of like shift everyone, at least Edge, kind of like maybe in where they're like natural, like the role that they can like give best to the Packers, like Rashawn Gary, a really, really good number two, like Lucas Van Ness, like a depth piece, and Barry, like all those guys depth piece. Like this makes like everyone on in the edge room now makes sense, right? Like of what they are going to provide best for the Packers. The interior, maybe, like you said, maybe some question marks now. One of the question marks is with Kenny Clark leaving, but you do have a lot of young guys that have played well in camp. But like it's got to make you excited of just having those depth pieces across from Micah Parsons now, because Micah Parsons can just single-handedly be a game changer and wreck offensive game plans, especially in the league that the Packers are in the NFC North and NFC overall. I think this is a huge thing to Hafley, and like you said, let's get psychotic Hafley out here, because this just opens everything up now. What he can do, the defense that he wants to do, the defense that he had to do last year is going to be different from the defense that he can do now. Yeah, it really is kind of a loss of words, but I would have to think like that front seven, at least the edge rusher, like this makes it make more sense now with what's in the room and like what they maybe can be in their role in the team now.
My one additional thought was Rashawn Gary. It's time to step up now, buddy. It's time to earn that money. I mean, he's got to be close to 10 sacks now, at least, with the attention that Parsons is going to get opposite of him. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see the snaps that Gary and Van Ness get, like what their share is going to be. Yeah, I don't think you can take Parsons off the field. So how are they going to split those snaps between Gary and Van Ness? So that's going to be
Good problem to
super
have.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, Rashawn, you got to go earn that money now, man. Like you got to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, he's on. What's he got? 2 years left in his contract. He's probably gone too after 2 years, unless he goes absolutely crazy here. Now that I think about that, but I'm kind of curious how much they're going to actually use him as like an off-ball linebacker. Like obviously we don't want him there. We want him rushing the passer, but like if a team's showing the Lions come out in 22 personnel, like is he going to be back at Mike and just playing, or Sam or whatever? Quay Walker and Edge and him, whatever, and they bring Van Nessen and Gary, like that might be their best against the run group, especially with if they're going to be a little bit depleted on the inside, losing Kenny Clark. The more I think about it here, they're going to do something to D-tackle. They're not going to, that room's not just going to sit there like that. I don't think. Like, I don't know. They have to get rid of an edge rusher. There's no point to have 6 and then 7 if whenever Collin Oliver comes back. Like, I don't know if it's Barre or Cox, but one of those two is probably gone. And I don't know. I don't know what veterans are out there. Like Collin said, going back to the initial thing is like, I never thought Kenny Clark was going to be a part of this. Like, I'm not upset about it, but like that never even crossed my mind to think how they're going to try to reshape this. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm so confused if they're going to go to more of a 3-4. Like, what are they going to do? I have no idea. Who knows what's happening, but I don't know. Yes, Rashawn Gary is a great number 2, but like, there's like so many, and they're like not bad questions because he can do so much. I just want to know, like, what is Hafley, like I like feel good about week 1 because the Lions, because like me right now, I'm just talking in circles. Yeah. I have no idea what Hafley's going to do. The Lions they have no clue. Like, I have no idea what they're going to come out in.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Dan Campbell has to be thinking the same thing right now for week 1 of kind of like, oh shit, like this completely maybe changes their like approach or what the Packers are going to do with them. But Riley, I heard you say Super Bowl or bust. Mike, is that where you're at in the same boat as soon as this year, or what's the window kind of look like now with an addition like Micah Parsons to like this young, talented roster?
Yeah, it's time to get. You gotta get to the game at least. Yeah, I mean that's plain and simple. You got to get there now. That's the expectation now.
Yeah. Are the Packers now NFC North favorites over the Lions with this move, or do you think time will tell still? Maybe at least on paper, like no games played yet. We are not even entering week 1 or entering week 1 on paper. Or should they be the favorites in the NFC North now with their biggest weakness essentially getting fixed with one of the best players in football?
If they aren't, the margin has certainly shrunk, I would say, for sure. It's closer than it was.
And say it's got to be at least even odds. The only thing that I can see people not is because the Packers fixed their weakness, but they opened up interior, and what the Eagles and Lions are best at are running the ball. So if that's going to be what the weakness is now for the Packers, I'm not saying it is, but I would say like that's what the experts and the odds makers are going to say. They lost their best defensive tackle. But yeah, it's Super Bowl. But if they get to the Super Bowl, they got to be favorites because whether it's the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, like their weakness is all a really good pass rush. And that's what the Packers got. They're the Packers' weakness now, and it would make sense, like I just said, it's interior. So their weakness would be the Lions or the Eagles. But like those 3 monsters in the AFC, like they're passing spread teams. Like that's what the Packers are prepared for, like the best to defend, probably with the speed and chaos that the linebackers, edge rushers they can put out there. So if they can somehow figure out how to stand up the run teams, the 2 at the top, yeah, I'd say that they should be the favorites. But like I said, I don't. We'll see if they do anything before next Sunday to try to if they make another move and add somebody inside that's known for run stuffing, like then yes, I'd say they are the favorites. But until then, I think maybe even odds would probably be where they're going to sit at.
All right, and last question I have before we get to final thoughts here, Riley. I'm assuming you had some frustrating reactions, maybe some of their roster decisions for some of the guys that you wanted back, or even on the practice squad. Does this move kind of just nullify all of that and make up for it and fully back on the Packers train and the Goody train and ready to full speed ahead?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'll let it go just because I'm still don't quite understand all of the practice squad decisions and stuff like that, but I don't know. I mean, he's fine. He's fine now. It's on LaFleur now. It's gonna be, if I have a gripe this year, it's gonna be with LaFleur and probably the offense. I don't know. The defense to me is not going to be an issue.
Mike, any final thoughts that you wanted to add with this just
I'll never
awesome.
forgive Goody for getting rid of Christian Welch 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I know, right? I know there were some surprising moves. I did not see a few of them coming. We'll get into that in next week's episode. But final question I have for you guys, and then we'll get out of here. And Riley mentioned Matt LaFleur. Is this kind of put a little bit more pressure on him, or kind of a little bit more urgency now on Matt LaFleur of, hey, like you kind of have almost everything you need in a sense on both sides of the ball, a young roster, a really good outside edge rusher. Does this kind of put a lot more pressure on him to perform, to get to the playoffs, to reach that next level and ultimately win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, probably. And part of this is I'm curious how much Ed Policy, Ed Policy weighed in on this particular decision to go get Micah Parsons. Because I mean, he said, like, I'm not giving out a contract extension to these guys this year. So and he doesn't want to leave him in a lame duck year. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see like what his status is at the end of this year, whether he gets that extension or not. Because I think, in my opinion, now it's either contract extension or you're gone. I don't think there's really a middle ground. Like,
I would say it's got to be NFC Championship, or he's going to get canned. He's already done everything else. You add Micah Parsons, like, yeah, this is what it says. This is 6th year. After this will be almost 7.
this is year 7.
Yeah, like if he doesn't at least get to the NFC Championship, like I think LaFleur is gone. I think Goody might have saved his job because and I think anybody would say this is one of the top probably 5 rosters. And considering they're still the NFL's youngest team by average age. And yeah, it's on LaFleur. He's got to get to at least the NFC Championship. He has to.
All right. Well, holy crap, it happened. Micah Parsons, he is a Green Bay Packer. Number-wise, 11. No one's 11, right? Or is Jaden Reed 11?
Jaden Reed.
All right, that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. What are we? About 10 days away from the first game, if there's going to be some jersey buying within the Packers locker room, or if Micah Parsons is going to roll out a new number. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the shelves. Micah Parsons, you might be warned by Mr. Collin week 1. We'll see. But all right, that is all we have. Thanks for joining us on the Emergency Podcast. Let us know what you think. Like, please drop a comment on however you're listening to Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Let us know what you think of the trade, what you think of the Packers roster now, the expectations for the 2025 season, how it's changed. We would love to hear it. We'll see some of those comments, and we can answer those and go through them on our episode next week. But as always, Collin, Mike, and Riley, thanks for joining us. We will see you next episode. And Mike,
go Pack, go, baby. Let's go.